All right, we're back and just about to begin our second half of play here. Of course, the Eagles ahead 14-0. The Tigers of Harry S. Truman High School.
All right.
Back deep, number 40, Van James, and number 26, Prince Bryant for the Eagles. The kick's going to go to James.
James picks it up, and he's got a little bit of running room. He's cracked into that middle, and he's down to about the 38, 40-yard line.
Heck of a run back. Gets the ball back, as Tony's told you, all the way back to the 38-yard line, and Norristown will take over. 1st and 10 with decent field position.
All right. And the Eagles are coming out for their first offensive play of the half.
What's the play?
Cassano right up the middle to Jacques
And
Richette.
he's hit. Richette just kind of, once again, with that sort of short, stocky build, kind of bowled over number, I forget who it was, number 40 down there?
Could have been. It might have been number 10, 40 or 10, Williams or Green.
So you got to keep the phone on when you get the play. Because I got to tell you something after each play. The 77 pitched out, so you might want to know that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Jacques Richette picks up 6 yards on the play. And, of course, Richette, number 35 in the backfield, along with number 40, Van James. They go to Van James this time.
And he's just about nailed from the back. He maybe makes it up to lose only about 1 or 2 yards.
That was number 64, Ed Byrne, that time. Got the deep penetration into the backfield and forced Van James up the middle before Van wanted to. And as Tony said, loss on the play of about a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 6.5 to go.
You know, that's always kind of a frightening situation when you're a halfback and you're coming around and you realize the sidelines is right in front of you. And also you're kind of looking at a team picture of the defense coming at you.
Andy Town wide to the right, Billy Evans wide to the left. Brian Murphy on the left side, your tight end. They hand off to Richette.
Richette again, right up the middle, and he's hit 2 or 3 times, and he's still going forward.
And they go with the draw play that time.
A lot of forward momentum developed into Richette.
4th down, it's going to be about 4th and 1 yard to go. The draw play worked, but not as well as Norristown would have liked. Of course, on the line for Norristown, number 78, Bill Angelucci. Number 74, Terry Kennedy. Number 50, Joe Glisson at center. Number 60, Mike Palladino. And I believe that's number 68, number 58, Vance Fisher. Vance, one of the tri-captains for Norristown.
And Angelucci, as we said earlier, came out in the first half kind of with a bad right leg. Obviously, he's back in there playing. All right.
And the offensive line playing real well tonight.
4th down situation. Norristown is back to punt.
Green and Bloom back deep for the Tigers. Norristown trying to draw them off sides with a long count.
And this time he's got a fairly good hang time on it.
Takes a Norristown bounce.
And it's right on about the 20-yard line.
Pops out at the 20-yard line. Frank really didn't get his foot into it that time again. Couple marginal punts tonight by Cassano, but Norristown hasn't had any ill effects arise from that as yet tonight. Of course, we're just into the 3rd quarter. 9:21 left to go in this 3rd quarter of play.
All right, and the ball obviously is placed exactly on the 20-yard line. And let's see what they come out with. Now, as we said during the halftime, we'd expect them maybe to loosen up a little bit more, attempt to throw a little bit more, and let's see what happens.
Well, right by Mike Taylor.
Fumble. Jacques Richette's got it back for Norristown. They went right up the middle. Conway that time blew by Mike Taylor, gets into the secondary, and he has the ball jarred loose again. Incredible. Truman's not going to win this ball game with all these turnovers.
Yeah, this is, once again, the kind of game that coaches hate. But Norristown is down there knocking again, and although there's a lot of time left in this first half, they have to develop a momentum and a psychology that if they can kind of grind this out, you've got 1st and 10 on the Truman 30-yard line. Well, they can grind this out.
Norristown put 7 on the board here. Truman's really got to be demoralized.
It's going to be a long, tough road for Truman to go up.
Long road back.
He's back to throw again.
There it is, touchdown.
Touchdown, Norristown. Andy Town, touchdown, execution, execution, execution.
And what a pass by Frank Cassano.
Right
he really
on the
laid
money.
That right on the money. Andy Town blew by the coverage, had 2 steps on his defender. Cassano had great amount of time. Let's give the offensive line credit that time. They gave Frank the time to set up in the pocket. Beautiful play. I mean, picture-perfect play. split the seam right down the middle. And Andy Town with a touchdown. So, interestingly enough, Norristown, three touchdowns tonight, all from the wide receivers.
Yes.
Billy Evans 2, Andy Town 1. Norristown definitely with the aerial attack tonight.
And we have Ron Minger down. Whoops, a high snap. I think that's a broken play, but what's happening
It's
is
John Delabuno. He's got somebody
John's
down there.
gonna throw.
Oh, touch! It's close. No, they said he
No.
trapped the ball.
Tough situation you get into with that, too, is you wind up with illegal receivers downfield when they think you're going to have kicked the ball. So although you may be able to chuck the ball into the end zone, it's awfully tough to get that to succeed.
Now, of course, John Delabuno, number 24, the holder, is also the backup and second-string quarterback for Roger Grove. And we saw in the game against Archbishop Carroll on a field goal attempt. Norristown faked the field goal attempt. It wasn't a broken play. John scrambled back, was back to the 30-yard line, finally got a pass off. And we said that Billy Evans caught the ball, but of course Brian Murphy caught that pass. And that's what almost happened that time. Brian Murphy, almost trapped the ball. But he did trap the ball. He didn't catch the ball, almost caught the ball. So our score 20-0 with 8:50 to play in the third quarter. And Norristown strikes quickly here.
And there's still, we're talking as if this is a wake for the Truman Club. And in a sense, there's a lot more football to play here in the second half.
Oh, definitely. Norristown's got to keep tight right now.
Picked up, right through his legs.
Misplayed by Bloom that time. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to be pulled for a safety.
Oh!
Safety, that's 2 points. He fumbled the ball. Touchdown!
Touchdown, Norristown.
Touchdown!
All right.
Oh my, what a play. What a play. That's number 60, Mike Palladino, I believe,
Mike Palladino,
with the score.
he's certainly a happy young man.
I'll tell you, how many times does a defensive and offensive lineman get a chance to score a touchdown? He's on about cloud 9 right now.
Right.
Oh, just a poor play by Bloom all the way around.
Went right between his legs. He then went back to pick it up, and he got caught
Poor judgment.
way behind.
There's
there.
no way he was going to outrun Norristown all the way around to the right side. I thought it was going to be a safety. That's an egregious enough error, and then he fumbles the ball,
yes.
and Mike Bloom falls on in the end zone for a touchdown.
All right.
We'll talk about your quick strikes. That one elapsed about 4 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
4-second scoring drive. Let's recap that, Tony. How did that happen?
And what we have here, if I see flags in the field, what do we have, contact down
Might
there?
be delay a game.
All right, let's see. Actually, I think it's offsides. I have a feeling it's defensive offsides. But let's see what the referee comes up with. They're a lot closer than we are. We don't have such a very good angle from up here.
Tony Coy, the master of description, caught that one again.
Offsides, defense, and obviously they're not going to get a lot of yardage out of that.
Half the distance to the goal.
Right.
So we've got 8:39, and Norristown is going to try and tackle
Still,
on.
it gives Ron Mingers a yard.
Oh, I'll tell you now. I'd have to say, for all intents and purposes, unless Truman comes out striking like crazy, that they're out of this ball game now. It's going to become a tight ball game, a blowout. And the first blowout we've seen Norristown play this year.
And
kicks good.
Kicks up, and it's good. And it's all along the lines that we were talking about, Truman mistakes. You had that completely unuseful penalty right here on the Norristown bench. You had that mistake, and it looks like, do we have somebody down on the field?
No, 11 on the bench.
No, I thought maybe we had somebody down on the field. But it's the kind of thing we were talking earlier about. I think you said execution a couple times. Some of the mistakes that are incredibly costly we've seen here tonight. This is the kind of stuff that the Truman coach is going to go home, and as he watches the game films, is going to upset his stomach quite possibly.
Oh, a lot of antacid going to be consumed by the Truman coaching staff on Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just poor football. You're taking your ball club right out of the game in 4 minutes.
Yes.
Halftime, they were certainly not out of it. And Norristown, as I just mentioned, we have not seen a blowout this year. Norristown gets that 14-3, 14-7 lead, and that's all they get.
Mm-hmm.
They've been getting the opportunities, but in a lot of opportunities they fail to capitalize on, and today they certainly have. Capitalized, that is.
All right. And we see they're getting set up for the kickoff over here. Who's doing the kicking off for Norristown again?
Andy Town.
Andy Town.
Versatile. I think that's the word. Plays free safety, wide receiver, and he also kicks off.
And it's up. kind of a bullet pass down there.
I know who they wanted to kick to. There's
Oh,
Bloom. He fumbles again.
He's messed it up again. Bloom is hit, and he does drive forward, manage to hold on to the ball this time, down to about the 16-yard line.
And Bloom's definitely having a tough time. I think, I dare say, Andy Town kicked off intentionally to Scott Bloom. You know he's got to have the jitters after giving away 7 points.
And it had exactly the effect that he was looking for, I'm sure.
When you look at this ball game, there's just so many individuals that have caused Truman, great harm.
Irreparable
Scott Bloom
harm.
gave him 7 points. The gentleman who had the personal foul,
we didn't get the number on that personal foul.
Cost
was
him
in
7 points.
And once again, they're just unearned, useless touchdowns.
You win as a team, you lose as a team, but individual mistakes will kill you. Later to Conway.
Conway up the middle again. We got another flag on.
Another flag here. Now the game's starting to slow down a little bit. We zipped through the first half, and I think we were just a little bit too luxurious. I think we're going to slow down here.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. And we have a face mask against Norristown now.
Now that's a big penalty.
And that's going to be 15, I believe, isn't it?
I believe so. Yep, 15-yard penalty. That's a major assessment.
Throwback here.
Oh,
man.
Incomplete?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
That ball was intended for number 18, I believe it is.
And it was really drilled into there.
Matt Given. Boy, he threw it behind him. It would have been quite an acrobatic catch. I tell you, they really haven't done anything through the air tonight.
No, they really haven't. And maybe that's why they
haven't really done anything, period.
Yeah, they've attempted to stay away from it.
Well, if Norristown manages to hold on to this win, it's got to be a big boost for them after coming off that heartbreaker last time to Pennsbury, losing 15-14. In the final seconds type play. And they come back here tonight and really establish themselves. Conway again.
It's Conway again, and he just about makes it back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard here.
So it's going to be 3rd and 8.5, 9 yards.
Yeah, 3rd and a long way. Now, once again, this is the kind of situation where as far back, as far behind as you are, I tend to think I'd throw and attempt to make up that long yardage.
I
going
agree.
For 3rd and 8.
What are you going to do by throwing a screen pass? Let's get some points on the board.
Yeah. And the worst that'll happen is you're going to turn the ball over again. You've got to become bold and attempt to take a couple chances, I would think, right now, if I was sitting on the Truman coach's side.
I agree.
They're coming out in their kind of I formation, and he is going back to throw. Looks like he has a little bit of time. That screen is set up well, except he kind of overran it a little bit.
Nice play. Fantastic play by number 88, Brian Riquette that time.
Total yard gain, about a yard.
Riquette really played that screen nicely. They had 3 players, Norristown.
He really did.
Blitzing in, they let him go by, which is the intention of a screen. You let those linemen fly in. Then you've got your lineman there to block once you make the completed pass.
Yeah, being a quarterback, I used to get a little bit concerned when people would do that. They rather cavalierly say, just let all those linemen go past and jump up and down on the quarterback.
That's right. That's right.
But they're back to punt right now. And Norristown, we almost had a hand on it there.
Yeah, Theron Ellis, nice penetration.
And it's out of bounds.
And Bob Carson watches it roll out of bounds.
I think it was number 77 that almost had a hand on it.
Theron Ellis, right?
Theron Ellis, right.
So the ball goes out of bounds to the 20-yard line. It's a good punt for Truman, but a good punt really doesn't mean anything at this stage of the game for them. They've got to get back into it. 6:28. They need a big defensive stand here. They've got to create some turnovers. They've got to get possession of the ball as quickly as possible.
But we're still right with 6:28 left. There's still a lot of football that can be played here.
Definitely.
But there's a certain psychological advantage they're going to have to pick up. Truman's going to have to make something happen. If they could pick up a fumble here, if they could intercept the pass and get quickly on the board, they could begin to develop a little bit of momentum and a couple lucky breaks. And this game has been full of those lucky breaks. Most of them have been capitalized on by Norristown.
Exactly. Rashad bounces off.
Again?
Yep,
and once
bounces off
again,
a
he's
couple
got
tackles.
that low center of gravity. He's just keeps those legs moving.
He's also a fine young man. A lot of nice fellas on the Norristown club.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you've got some prima donnas once in a while, but guys who know their limits, know their abilities.
All right, and here they come out again. This is a second in about 5 situation. All right, let's get a first down out of it. Who is that, Rochette again? Yes, that's Rochette again.
Jockey's
35.
Rochette, yep. So the clock's running. Norristown grinds out a first down, and I think that's what Roger Grove wants to do. Keep the ball on the ground. He doesn't have to score anymore.
Exactly. He doesn't have to do very much of anything except do a little bit of ball control, grind out some first downs, and it'll be a happy bus ride back to the Norristown High School.
Oh, they almost crunched Cassano that time. Just got the handoff there to Jockey's Rochette. Rochette dives forward for a yard or two, but that could have been a big play. There was good penetration that time by the Tigers. They could have created a turnover on the exchange.
Yeah, and Cassano's played a very good game so far. We mentioned him briefly at halftime, but I think we ought to mention it again. He's done a very good game. He seems to have done everything right. He seems to be controlling the ball club well. And let's see if he can continue playing the way he has played, he'll have done a very good job for Coach Grove.
And I think that success that Frank's had tonight is really the basis of it is that offensive line support he's been getting, which he didn't get last week against Pennsbury.
And we see flags all over the field. We are getting into a situation where I think we have some of the players down in the field are probably getting a little bit anxious, a little bit of adrenaline might be kicking around.
Yeah.
And that's in Norristown, illegal procedure.
See, Norristown, that's a big mistake. You stop the clock with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
lose
drive
both
yourself
ways,
back
right?
5 yards, and that's definitely not what you want. You know, but to repeat again, the Norristown's offensive line has played a fine ball game tonight, and so has the defense, and the defensive line's played well.
And once again, I guess we shouldn't say that it's not like we're about to wrap this broadcast up. This could turn into a track meet again, especially the way some of these breaks have been going.
Yeah, you never know. We're talking like the ball game's over. I'm talking like the ball game's over.
I wouldn't want to count out the Tigers.
Blitz.
Oh, and he's hit once. And I think we have a loose ball right there. And this could be exactly.
Truman's got it.
Truman has the ball down in the Norristown 21-yard line.
That's right. 20.
This is exactly the kind of thing that you could get.
There you go.
It can just, like a shot of adrenaline into the Tiger team. You can never tell what'll happen.
They've got to put the ball in the end zone right away.
They've got to do it now.
And get the ball back on the kick.
If I was asked, I would kind of say that I think this is their last chance. If they don't get on the board in this drive, Norristown's going to really think they can control the situation, and in fact, they will have controlled the situation.
No, we don't have any official statistics up here, or even spotters for that fact.
Right.
But I'd like to know how many turnovers there have been in this ball game. Conway up the middle. Dragged down by Dwayne Sanders and a couple buddies.
It looks like about a 7-yard gain for Conway.
Down to about the 15-yard line or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to have been an awful lot of imagination in the Truman offense, in the sense that all we've seen was Conway up the middle, Conway around off tackle, and that's pretty much been about it. We haven't seen the air filled with too many passes. And we have seen some costly mistakes. They're going to have to get their act together.
I really don't think they've got a quarterback with an arm, to tell you the truth. Or they would have been
is that Conway again?
Yep.
He's trying to go around that right side, and he's going to be either pushed out of bounds. He's got maybe a yard or two. A lot of lateral running.
Gene Hill and Brooke Bugg made nice plays. I think he might have picked up.
I guess we were
looking at the wrong hash mark that time.
It's about
he picked up about 6.
So all that lateral running did seem to pay off.
You were right. It wasn't an illusion. Brooke Bugg and Gene Hill finally ran him out of bounds that time.
Mm-hmm. And actually, he picked up a first down. Goes to show how the angle can kind of confuse you a little bit.
It's not the best angle we have.
The line instead of coming down hard toward the backfield.
So we have a first down on looks like about the 11 or 12-yard line.
Let's watch it again.
Is that Conway in the middle again? Down to about the 5-6-yard line.
He's a big ball player.
What is his statistics?
Well, that's right. He's the one who's not in our program, but he's a big ball player.
Fantastic. He's not big enough to make it in the in the game lineup here.
Selective programming? No.
Yes.
That's television.
Yes.
The new fall season. Of course, there is an alternative to network television. That's cable television, and we're on your cable system. Norristown High's cable channel trying to bring you sports and educational programming as often as possible. They go up the middle once again to Conway. He bulls his way down to about the 1 yard line.
All right, now, considering Conway has gotten the assignment about the last 4 downs in a row, I tend to think from about the 1 yard line,
they got to go with him.
They're probably going to go with Conway.
It's 2:07 left to go in the third quarter, folks. Eagles ahead 27-0. And we've got a third down. And there might be a first down. These might be close enough. No, they're going to have a measurement. Officials timeout for a measurement. They're very close to a first down there. They think they've got about 3 or 4 feet in there before the goal line where a first down might be gotten.
And this will be an interesting situation because it'll put them in an idea of having 4 shots at the goal from on goal.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that defensive lines have real. It looks like I see some of the players. It is a first down.
Well, you know, Tony, Alan and I did the Archbishop Carroll game, and Norristown had a first and goal from the 1 yard line, I believe it was. Didn't score. It was incredible.
It happens.
Did not score. First and goal from the 1. Of course, a big example of that was Penn State and Alabama.
Exactly.
Year, I think it was
yes.
the Sugar Bowl, I think it was.
Yes. Well, here they come. Let's see if Conway gets the assignment, and let's see exactly where they go. It's not Conway. It looks like we touchdown.
Touchdown. That's number 26, Jeff Jones.
Jeff Jones. Okay.
So finally onto the scoreboard comes the Tigers. They've got 6 points, and we've got 1:50 left to go in the third quarter. The question is, can they get back far enough, fast enough?
Yes. And once again, they capitalized on a turnover. We've had, as you said, we've had a number of turnovers in this game.
And the kicker for the Tigers is number 18, Matt Given.
All right, let's see what happens. This is not the time when you want to miss an extra point.
Definitely not. Given's kick
and
is
it's up. And it's good.
All right, so our score, 27-7.
All right, now once again, there's 1:50 left in the third quarter. The way that this ball game is going, I still don't want to turn it into a wake for the Truman team. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that if they really get a couple of lucky breaks and if they do capitalize on them, you can never tell. If I were Roger, I wouldn't be counting them down and out right now, and I'm certain that Roger Grove is not doing that.
I agree, and of course we want you folks to stay tuned. We don't want you to think that the ball game's over.
We don't want you to go watch the third rerun of Gilligan's Island.
That's right. That's right. There is alternative programming, your Norristown High Educational Channel. And, of course, Tony is the Director of Communications for the school district.
All right, and we see them lining up once again for the kickoff, and this is going to be the Truman Tigers kicking to the Norristown Eagles. And down there is that Andy Town on the left-hand side.
No, that's Prince Bryant, number 26.
All right. The kick is an onside kick,
and it's
recovered by Angelucci, who's immediately covered by number 60.
Mike Palladino.
And what he was trying to do was make sure that Bill wasn't even piled on by the other team.
Nice play by Angelucci. I kind of expected the onside kick there.
Yeah, and that's always a tough catch for a lineman. People who generally don't handle the ball too much. Angelucci's hands are probably taped up, and as we mentioned earlier, Bill hurt his right leg earlier in the first half and had to come out.
Boy, he is a martyr, isn't he?
My
I don't know how he made that play with all those things against him.
And
Jeez.
I'm sure we'll pick up a check from Bill earlier in the...
Bill's parents,
right.
Did we say that just the way you wrote it? Billy Evans, slot to the right. They go to Jockeys Rochette off the right side.
Rochette down again. Picks up about 4 yards.
He bangs up the middle. Bangs off the right side, rather.
And as you can see down here on your screen, we have the ever-present the Norristown cheerleading squad. And if we can get a shot panning down that line of cheerleaders. And let's go back to the field if we can right now. I always like to show...
This time they go
is going back. He's down to the 30-yard line. He's down to the 25, maybe down to about the 22-yard line. Rochette with that off tackle.
Heck of a run off left tackle that time by Jock Rochette. And Norristown is going to pile it on here, it looks like. As we're almost to the end of the third quarter here, 43 seconds left to play.
This is the last thing that, if you were the Truman coach, we seem to have somebody down in the field. This is the last thing you'd like to see if you were the Truman coach. All right. And as we said before, as we have a referee's timeout in the field, as you can see, we have the Norristown cheerleading squad. And although there's not a great crowd out for tonight's game, there's a fairly decent crowd out.
Yeah, I agree. It's certainly not as sparse as I've seen it some nights.
And as the camera's panning to the right here, we'll see the Eagle. And who is the Eagle this year?
I'm really not sure. I think it's Steve Gosh. Is it Jim Gashi? Steve Gashi.
The ever-present mascot of the Norristown Eagle team.
See, I'm a little bit detached from the school now. I used to know all the cheerleaders by name, and now I might know one or two.
That's true.
Now, in another year or two, I won't know anybody at all. So,
how's it feel to get older?
It's not bad. I mean, I'm not 21 yet. I guess after you're 21, it's downhill, right?
I don't know. I haven't.
After you're 40, it's downhill, right?
One of the problems I've been having.
I'm sorry.
Lately.
I'm sorry.
And we seem to have somebody. He's down on the field. Have you caught a number of who is down?
No, I don't know. It's Jockey's Rochette.
It is Rochette down. Okay, but maybe he just had the wind knocked at him. He's coming off under his own power.
Looks like he might be a little bit bleary-eyed. I think you're right. He just had his senses knocked away for a couple minutes.
He's played a very good game so far.
All right, the clock's running.
Whoa. Rochette seems to not be in quite as good a shape as we thought he might be. He's being looked at by the trainers. And here we have
number 26, Prince Bryant. Like nowhere to go. Boy,
he's gone back. Now, once again, that's a benefit of kind of that quick whistle. Yeah. He's obviously not going to be going anywhere.
Right, Bryant was tied up, and Green that time tried to come away with the ball after the whistle had already been blown.
And the last thing that you want is someone to take a shot at somebody who's standing still. So the referees have gone to a rather quick whistle. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more of that at the end of this game.
And the third quarter's over, so after 3 quarters of play, our score 27-7 Eagles. Norristown with a commanding lead as we enter our final quarter of play.
All right.
Well,